Hey guys, tonight's class, no real plan in place actually. We're just going to come on down to our mats. It's Sunday night here in Sydney. Just come on down to our mats and move around and see what feels good. So I've got props. I don't exactly know what we're going to use, but I've got a box, I've got a strap and a ball. You don't necessarily need any of these, but blocks are good to have handy anyway. We'll start hands and knees today. So come to a tabletop position. And from there, lift your tail towards the sky and pull your chest forward. And just hold there and breathe. Try to keep your shoulders down. From there, begin to slowly tuck your pelvis under. And we'll begin to do some spinal segmentations from here. Rounding slowly through the spine, tucking your chin to your chest, and then reversing tail towards the sky. And slowly lifting back up. We'll do two more like that, slowly tucking the tail, tucking the pelvis under, rounding through the lower spine, the mid spine, all the way to the upper spine and tucking your chin to your chest. And then one more time with tail towards the sky. Really slow this back on the way down, back into spinal extension. Nice, from there come to lie down on your right side. We'll do right hips as well. So interlace, or I've got my bottom arm in a fist, top arm reaching and grabbing. Take a breath in, a little bit of tension throughout the body. This is gentle, 20-30%. Knee to chest. Open the hip up. Internally rotate the hip as you kick up towards the sky. From there, the knees stack. Kick away from you. Knee towards the sky, and then rotate that knee towards the shoulder from the hip. Back down, we'll do one more on that side. Knee to chest. Take it wide. Internally rotate, kick back. Knee stack. Kick back again to the sky. Knee towards the shoulder and back down. I mentioned on that first side, but if that was uncomfortable for you with the neck, you can pop your head on a pillow, which is what I'm going to do now as well. Again, bottom hand fist. It's really whatever works for you. You can hug yourself just to create some upper body tension. Again, knee to chest. Still create a little tension through the body. Opening up the hip. Kick back. Knee stack. Kick away. Externally rotate. Knee to shoulder. Back down. Nice. One more time. Knee to chest. Take it wide. Rotate. Kick back. Knee stack, kick back again, open up, and draw it back down. Nice, from there we'll come to a Sphinx position. Elbows under shoulders, hands out in front of you. From there, again, pull those shoulders away from the ears. And from here, we're going to try and do that same spinal segmentation that we did from quadruped. We'll try and do it here as well. Obviously, much more difficult from here. You won't get quite as much in either direction. From there, tuck your chin to your chest. Start to round up through the spine. Again, lifting up, tucking the pelvis at the end. And now nice and slow, when those hips start to fall down, lift that tail towards the sky. And then pull your chest forward from there. From there, stay in spinal extension. And we'll do some neck carves from here. Tuck your chin to your chest. Look to the left. And try and draw a big circle without going into any painful areas over to the right shoulder. Chin to chest. And one more in that direction. Again, if this is not comfortable in any way for you, so I shouldn't say comfortable, if this is painful for you in any way, then just reduce your sort of range of motion here. So if you do find a little sticky point, you just reduce your circle and avoid that little sticky area. And that will probably be a feeling of a pinch or something similar. From there we'll come to either with the toes curled under or a tall kneeling position. I'm going to start toes curled under, it might change. Right arm out to the side, externally rotate, sweep in towards your midline and up. When you hit your maximum here in flexion, just pause there and just wring out a little bit of rotation, then back to flexion. So internally rotate the shoulder, bring it back. Externally rotating on the way in, internally rotating as you reach out. Nice and controlled. And try not to open up your chest as you go. Switch sides. Again, let's actually start from the bottom. We'll do it all the way from the bottom, sweep across and up. And pause when you hit the top here. Again, give me that internal rotation as if thumb away from you. And the start of external rotation is thumb towards you. Nice, just a couple more, nice and slow. And back down. All right, from here, we'll do some spine casts. Crisscross the arms. Tuck chin to chest. Rotate, twist to the left. Extend up. Rotate to the other side. One more in that direction. Rotate. Lift up. Extend. Bring it back down. And let's switch sides. Rotate. Extend. Rotate to the other side. And around, back down. Beautiful. From there, let's come to a wide-legged position. Whatever's comfortable for you here. Doesn't mean you have to get your legs out super wide. It's whatever works for you in your body. Of course, if you can get out a little bit wider, then go for it. Some of you will feel good to sit on a block here as well, if you have that, if that's an uncomfortable position for you. And from here, bend the knees just a little bit. So even if you can straighten the legs out and get all the way out there, just start with bent knees. Turn your chest towards your right leg. Actually, this left leg can come down to the ground. We'll just focus on this leg to start with. So start with the knee bent, and rather than trying to fold over the leg, think about reaching your belly button towards your toes. And we're looking for a stretch right in the sort of the middle of the hamstring, not near the knee, and not right up near the hamstring attachment point either. Fantastic anatomy, by the way. It's something that takes a while to come to me, but slowly gets there. Just hang out here and breathe. If you feel that you could reach your belly a little further without overdoing it, then you can reach a little further right there. Now from here we're going to do something called pails and rails, where you're going to take it pretty light, 20 to 30% intensity today. So the pails in this one, you try and keep your position here with the torso as it is, and you'll start to drive your heel into the ground and pull back towards you, just lighting up all this back of hip stuff here, hamstrings, glutes a little, and the calf as well. And then on the rails, you try and do the opposite. So you're trying, because we're already in the stretch, you won't actually be able to lift off, but you're trying to lift the leg off the ground using primarily your hip flexors. So just hang out here another couple of breaths. And again, this is gentle, 20-30% is fine for today. All right, take a breath in, create a little bit of tension throughout the body, squeeze the fists, do whatever you can, press the opposite leg into the ground. And then about 10%, start digging that heel down into the ground and pulling that heel back towards you. Put it up to about 20%. You can stay at 20 or maybe find about 30% right there. Just pressing the heel down and pulling back towards you. And we'll hold here about 15 more seconds. And see if you can feel, it even kind of helps sometimes actually feel what you're trying to contract. So you bring your hand to the hamstring and just feel maybe a little bit more contraction. So that was a long 15 seconds. And now reverse, we'll rail. So we're now trying to lift the leg off of the ground. So I'm using hip flexors trying to lift that leg up. We won't hold this one as long, sorry for holding you there. Just try and stick at that about 30%. So I don't know if I even said that, 30%. So we're just matching that same intensity that we did on the other side. Five more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. See if you can actually, without straightening the knee, maybe you can relax your belly maybe a little further toward the toes. If you can't, that's fine, no worries. Now you could do this for multiple rounds, as many times as you like. You can also, I mean, we're doing this gently, but when you do this quite a bit, like you can build up the intensity to do this max effort 100%. You do it for less time, but that's really where you'll see the benefits of doing this stuff. Let's take it to the other side. So you can hold in the passive stretch afterwards, after the pails and rails if you want, or you can just hang there for 20 seconds or move on to something else. You don't need to hang there for as long as you're good at the start. So when you typically get into these sort of stretches and you do these pails and rails, if you're doing this training yourself, 2 minutes you can hang out in the stretch. You don't have to hang out for 2 minutes, but 2 minutes seems to be the magic number. And then you can do multiple rounds at whatever percentage of intensity that you choose. All right, again, we'll get up to about 30% on this leg, so the pails pressing the heel down, pulling back towards you, the rails trying to lift the leg up. Take a breath in, create a little bit of tension throughout the body, and then gently to start with, heel down and drag back. Maybe getting up to about 20, pressing down. And whatever feels like 30% to you, press down, pull back, we'll hold that about 20 seconds. And see again, can you just hold right on whatever that intensity feels like to you without without going up, going down, just stick to that 30 right there. We'll hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse. Try to lift the leg off the ground, get to your 30 and just hit it straight away and just stay right there. So when we do our rails contraction, you just maintain whatever percentage you went to on that leg. You try and do the same on the other leg. Makes it nice and simple. Let's hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Relax. Bring your hands behind you. We'll come into a bear sit position. Take the heels or the feet, the toes facing away from each other. There's many different options you can have here. So we're going to be working on just a little bit of hip rotation from here. And for some people, quite often, well not quite often, but a lot of people will get a little bit inner knee issues here. And that's generally related to, it can be a few things, but it can be generally related to the placement of the foot. So you can play with where you want to put that foot. You can bring it closer towards you to get wider, further out in front. You can also sit on a block. A lot of people feel much nicer on a block, maybe even 2 blocks here. And what you're trying to do, we're going to work on a little bit of rotation with the right hip first. So when you rotate the hip, try not to rotate and let the pelvis lift off the block. So you want to try and stay on the block. And if that means that you just get to here, that's what you got. That's totally fine. You don't need to, there's no point cheating it to try and get a little further. Just get the proper form of the technique and just work within where you are right now. We're going to start somewhere. So bring the the right hand to the outside of the knee, and then gently, do it gently. It's just nice and slow. Maybe you can press yourself into a little bit more rotation without this right buttock coming off of the block here. So not rotating the pelvis, just rotating the femur here. And just hang right there. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did for that hip flexion. We'll work on a little bit of hip internal rotation from here. So with the right hand on the hip, just hold it right there. And this is our passive stretch phase right now. So our pails in this instance, the hand is a good strong block. It's not going to let the leg move at all. But I'm going to try and rotate the hip back to external rotation, and the hand is blocking that. So that's our pails. And then when I say rails, you can bring your hand up off the leg, and I'm trying to further rotate that hip towards the ground, just using the hip itself. So you're rotating, and then we'll probably do, if we are going to do 2 rounds, we'll see how we feel. I'll bring the hand back onto the outside of the knee, and then gently press it into a little bit further rotation, just like we worked the hip flexion, where you got a little bit your belly towards the toes a little bit more. And you might have it, you might not. And that'll be 1 round, and then we can do multiple rounds from there. So that was a very long spiel, so let's get right into it. So take that right leg, rotate, bring it down into that internally rotated position. Hand can come on the top. Hang out here and breathe. We're not going to hold the two, they're quite a long stretch for this one. but you're welcome to if you repeat this exercise, of course. So from there, stay right there, and now rotate into the hand. The hand is a good strong block, and this internal rotation is so crucial for the health of your hips, and it's just not something that is not highly undertrained in people. So if you want to start somewhere for your hips, start right here, and this one can be done from many positions. So just rotating into the hand. Again, we're going at a low intensity. We'll hold here 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can bring that hand behind you and now try to rotate towards the ground. If you feel any pinchy sensation on your knee, just back it up. Just don't work through the pain. So back it up. You can readjust your foot placement, stay as you are if it feels fine for you, and then see if you can find it again. But if you try this position over and over and it doesn't work for you, that's fine. There's many other positions that you can do. And we will get to those, of course. All right, let's release that one, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. I think I held you there way too long again. A bit slow tonight. All right, same thing, find that stretch. Again, try not to rotate that pelvis. And your foot placement here might be quite different to the other side. So just play with what feels nice. My left foot's definitely in a different area generally than my right. All right, so again, we'll go about 20-30 seconds, 30%, rotating into the knee, and then rotating towards the ground. Breath in, a little bit of tension through the body, and then rotate into the hand, and just build up to 30% and hang right there. That's it, just rotating into the hand, squeezing the rest of the muscles on the outside of your hip here, and see if you can really feel that contraction, that helping you, that is making the rotation here. And reverse, try to rotate towards the ground. You might get a little crampy, a cramp's coming on for me. I've already done this one today, so it's really coming right up. Rotating towards the ground. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we are. Come on out of there. Alrighty. From here, I'm going to grab my strap. We'll just do some nice gentle stretches on the back. So this isn't necessarily going to increase our mobility of that work we just did, but this just feels nice. So take the strap, or if you've got a t-shirt, something, you can hook it over your foot, straighten the leg to the sky, and reach that leg towards the back, towards your head basically. You can have the leg straight. It's really nice to have it straight, and if that means you have to take the leg further away from you, the foot up further away, that's fine. If it doesn't feel nice straight leg, then that's of course fine to bend the knee. Take both sides of the strap into your right hand, and now let the leg fall off to the right, but keeping the pelvis down on the ground here. Okay, other side. Strap into the left hand. Just let that leg fall about 45 degrees off to the left. Just hang right there. And now let it rotate towards the ground. You can take the right arm. I like to reach it to the back right corner of the room. Nice. Come back through center. You can pop the strap off and we'll take it to the other side. Nice. Starting with that leg nice and straight. If you haven't already started, you can start to deepen your breath a little here as well, if that feels good for you, of course. Strap into the left hand, let it fall off to the left, and now again try and keep the pelvis down on the ground. the right buttock down on the ground. Nice. Bend the knee, or sorry, bring the leg back in. Yeah, other side. Let's do about 45 degrees there to start. And then all the way towards the ground. Nice, back through center. I like to finish with a little bit of, I guess this is spinal segmentation work from here, from this supine position. Straighten your legs out in front of you. And if you need to bend the knees to do this, that's totally fine. We're going to try and do some sort of spine roll-ups from here. That's what I'm calling them anyway. Tuck chin to chest. And begin to round through your spine. Think about rolling the spine off of the mat, sort of piece by piece. I'm going to straighten myself up here. And then from there, rounding all the way in, tucking chin to your chest. Now keep that roundness through the spine, so you can maintain chin tucked. And then just start to lean straight back, keeping your chin tucked and tucking your pelvis under as you go. This can help you go nice and slow towards the ground. You might even be able to feel it. You can get here 3/4 of the way. And using my spine, as long as I stay here flexed, I can roll up and down here. Of course, that takes time to develop sort of that skill, but that's much stronger. I wouldn't be able to do that just using my core. So strengthening your spine is very crucial to having really a nice healthy spine, healthy back. Nice. Take the knees or the feet a little bit wider apart from each other and just let the knees rock from side to side. Now we're going to do that a few times, that spinal segmentation. So from there, tuck your chin again to your chest and start to round all the way up. And then maintain that tuck and roll all the way to the ground. Sorry, I interrupted that one before. Should have been doing this the whole time. Tuck your chin to your chest, round all the way up. Sorry if that mic's going crazy in here too. Round all the way up. And one more time, roll all the way back down. All right, you can stay here for a little bit if you want to stay in Shavasana. For me, I'm going to sign off. So thank you, hope you enjoyed the class. I'll see you next time.